lightning and rain didn't keep crowds away from hearing the message of Dr. Billy Graham in Louisville. Crusade officials say 37,500 attended. They expected Thursday to be the smallest number of people on hand of the 4 nights because it's not the weekend yet and weather may have played a factor.
I heard the thunder and listened to the rain, and I thought to myself there'll only be a handful of people here. But I didn't know Louisville and I didn't know Kentucky and Indiana.
Friday morning, 60 youth rehearsed their roles for the musical Kids Gig, which will be held here Saturday morning. Saturday night, Crusade officials hope to set record stadium attendance with their youth concert.
Most people commit their lives to Christ before the age of 18. And so that's one of the reasons that the Kids Gig is so important as part of the ministry. Because if you can instill this message in the hearts of these young children at an early age, and then they can have that to base all their decisions on throughout the rest of their life.
Crusade officials say Thursday 1,715 left their seats and committed to Christ. Half, they say, had never done so before, and more than 20% of those were 10 to 18 years old. That kind of excitement by youth is appealing to ministers.
What we're trying to do is just simply share the good news of the gospel with the kids here in Louisville. And you know, the kids today really need hope.
Local youth danced to choreographed numbers among colorful costumes on stage, and that generated plenty of clapping from the crowd.
Enjoying. You having fun?
It's well organized and it's good for the kids and get them started learning early.
And I think it's just a perfect little thing for children and for them to get a good inclination on what the Lord really wants them to do in life.
It was a neat way to get kids together so that they could experience Jesus' love through their Bible characters.
More than 2,000 youth sang in the kids' choir. Salty the Songbook led the musical presentation. Even the little ones identified with a favorite character.
My favorite day was Church, Mouse, and Salty. The Purple Box. They've been singing songs with a blue songbook named Salty.
Let's sing another song while we're waiting for people to come down.
Crusade officials say about 800 people left their seats and came down to the field to commit to Christ. They hope that's just the beginning of a forever friendship with God.
A lot of these kids will leave here with a new understanding that Jesus really does love them. And like they sang, that he has a special plan for their life. And if they can take that thought with them the rest of their life, I think that'd be wonderful.
Those of you who are in the overflow seating, why don't you give a welcome to those gathered in the stadium tonight?
7,500 people who couldn't get into Papa John's Cardinal Stadium crowded into Gate 3 and surrounding parking lots.
If I had a place to sit, it would be nice.
It's kind of hot.
Yes, it's definitely hot out here.
Well, I was a little discouraged because I wanted to hear the last message here, and we were here last night, but I wish I could have gotten in, but I see there's no possible chance unless I'm a bird.
I'm close enough. I just want to hear them. I've always loved to hear them speak, so I'm happy.
They sat and laid on the grass and tried to stay out of the hot sun as they watched Billy Graham's crusade on the big screen set up for the overflow crowd.
And we put these jumbotrons up last night, and we've already filled that area up. We closed out the handicap area, and there's nowhere for anybody to go. And I guess folks are heading away and going back home now.
Crusade officials say they have no idea how many folks left or were turned away, disappointed and surprised at the big turnout.
We got here a little bit late, honestly, so it's our fault. But disappointed, yes, to a degree. But it's nice outside also.
We got a late start. Didn't think it was going to be this big a crowd. Between here and Lexington is some of the most beautiful country I think I've ever seen. And they call it horse country.
This is why 50,000 filled stadium seats and even sat on the field to hear the fourth and final sermon in Louisville by the 82-year-old Reverend. Crusade officials say Dr. Graham was excited about the turnout at a second crusade visit in Louisville.
And we've been encouraged that Mr. Graham has been so strong. In fact, I saw him just before the service tonight. I said, "How are you feeling?" He said, "I feel stronger than when I got into town." He said, "I've been gaining in strength each day." And so I think it's been a shot in the arm to him as he's been back in the pulpit.
Lisa Bronis, WHAS 11 News.
When Billy Graham first brought a crusade to Louisville, he was 37 years old and already world-renowned. Nearly 500,000 people attended his 26 services here.
Fairgrounds Stadium, now Cardinal Stadium, was new in 1956 when Billy Graham came to town for a 4-week-long crusade. This year's crusade is at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium and lasts only 4 days. But those aren't the only things that have changed in the last 45 years.
Production-wise is probably as good as you're going to see on any major concert tour that you see out.
Mike Drew has worked on Billy Graham crusades for 7 years.
We were out on the George Strait tour, and it's a little bit bigger than that, you know, a little different. It's probably, you know, we don't have the runway like in sync or anything like that where we're going to try to fly anybody out to the middle of the stage.
Stage lights, giant speakers, huge video monitors. From the way it looks the day before opening night, this could be any stadium event. Is it show business?
That's a hard one because we're using all the elements of show business. I don't look at it that way, but I have all the elements of doing, you know, I suppose we could do a rock concert here tomorrow if you wanted to try to do that.
To attract the masses, you need high production values.
The days of, well, I can't quite hear, or I can't quite see, those are sort of gone, you know, because people don't want to do that. Even if it's free, they've still given up their time, come out, and they want to have an experience.
We need a mighty outpouring of the Spirit of God, and that will come only in answer to prayer.
A life-changing experience, so hopes the Billy Graham Crusade. Joe Arnold, WHAS 11 News.
And from the Great Lakes to the